anywhere, because that would definitely erode. It would definitely showcase like this could exist. You know, it would really show just how flawed the current police, you know, structure is. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not an objectivist, but you could give him like the fountainhead and show like, hey, this dude was an architect, and he said, screw it, I'm gonna go just like, I don't know, mine rocks or something to stay true to myself. But I don't know, man. It's a difficult situation right now. But just like I see free aid as sort of creating the competing institution of the top-down, like regulated healthcare sector, I see that it's starting to exist for police, you know, for police services, and so you know he could be entrepreneurial and start something in the area. I don't know. I mean, I wish I had a better answer. I mean, Adamo started CopBlock protection a month ago, and it is on hold right now. But that, you know, to me, I said would be successful if and when we were able to hire the first police employee, because it would be a viable alternative to help people out and actually get justice instead of, you know, doing it through this environment of perverse incentives.
One thing that seems to really help is to emphasize the, you know, police go into different neighborhoods, and they know that certain communities are tighter and more involved with one another and helpful to one another, and those are almost inevitably the neighborhoods where crime is less, and there's less violence and so forth. And the neighborhoods where people don't care about each other, it goes to the pot. And so it's to get it across that way, where the community doesn't need the violence of police forcing this issue when people take care of their own community, and to be involved in that. Because police can be involved in that, even in this current system.
Right, I agree. Yeah, it's again, I think it comes back to the world's not as scary as some of the folks who want to control us want to make it out to be. Because if we're scared and we're timid, then we allow for a lot of bad things to happen. It's like, oh, I know it's not perfect, but let's allow for it. So, yeah, get strong bonds with neighbors and folks in the area, community stuff, civil society. I'm all for it, definitely.
I also understand there's a push to get to the police state, and so the more that we can support our local town police, the better off we'll be at not getting to that point. But the media tries to, I think, exacerbate and point out certain questionable activities of the police that if you slow down the video, you actually see the police are doing the right thing. But anything they can do to sensationalize and call out a police officer as a bad guy causes society to then want the police to go away, and yes, for Big Papa to come down as a national police force, which is not what we want either.
Right.
I'm patrolled in my rural area of Connecticut by state troopers, so we don't have the town police, which is a worse thing because we've got that top-down structure. I gave out to a state trooper in my area an Oak Creek Keeper's brochure. 2 days later, I was visited by a state trooper up my driveway.
Oh, man.
Purporting to look for 100 Main Street, and I was 200 Main Street, just like Walter Reddy's case in Connecticut, you know that, where the SWAT team came. So I didn't realize it right away, but that's what he was doing, was checking me out to see was I real, you know. So they're doing that too, this whole surveillance.
Yeah, that's something else. I mean, like I said, don't consent to searches of your house. I mean, like if someone shows up at your house, you have no obligation to even answer the door. Like if someone isn't calling for help or something like that, they have no right to go in your house. You know what I mean? So, and they have no right anyway. Like, but I mean, I hear what you're saying. But I would still say that if you allow, like some people say, oh, the police today it's a police state and we need the peace officer of yesteryear. But the police state of today only was allowed to happen because the peace officer was allowed to happen, because a double standard was allowed to happen, that this person and group of people were given the right to steal money to then protect them. So that double standard grew to what we have today. So yes, I mean, it would be better. I mean, a national, like a one world police force isn't good, a national police force isn't good, a state police force, whatever. Ultimately, the ideal to me is the secession down to the individual, where you own yourself and we police each other, we police ourselves. And so, I mean, I don't know if I mean, we all got to do what we got to do, but I would say, me personally, I don't try to make a case for having local police or for doing this or that. I try to, make a case for what I think is the ideal for me, and then so that hopefully will push the conversation that way, you know, and not allow for even a local police, a local coercive monopoly, you know, because even that has those perverse incentives built in.
You create something better, it's a market.
Right.
You create something better, the worst product goes away.
Exactly. I agree.
I have a comment that I haven't heard anybody talking about, and it's regarding the power of juries. I mean, we know about jury nullification, about judging the law as well as the facts, but what isn't being talked about is the grand jury. The grand jury actually is a sovereign body of the people that have power over the state, over the prosecuting entities of the of the county, and what we're not doing by the lack of those jurors being informed of their power is that they're not allowing citizens or regular people that have been wronged by the powers that be to actually do presentments to the grand jury, which when done properly, I mean, we have all kinds of stuff right within CopBlock that you show the video, you give the facts, the witnesses testify, and the grand jury, will vote unanimously to indict, and the county attorney has to prosecute. They have to investigate and prosecute, and they have captured those grand juries, and it's the reason the jury is so powerful, it is the raw power of the people in action, and nobody actually gets that power is the source of the power that our system of government is supposed to be operating on, and as a matter of fact, that power is undeniable, and that's why these county attorneys protect their grand juries from
Outside influence.
from any kind of access by the people, and granted there could be abuse there, but I mean, I just there are just so many crimes that are being committed by authorities that there's no outcome, there's no real entry into the criminal justice system other than the possibility of grand juries. And so if we could actually add another jury information kind of campaign, which I'd be glad to be, to head up, but that the grand juries as well need to know what they can do. The jury is a power. It's not a right. It's a power. It's a power that people extend into the government that needs to be restored.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, the way I look at it, these things they're still components within this system of rules that these people claim the right to create and interpret and everything. So, I mean,
well, they're definitely doing a lot of creating and interpreting.
Right. So, I mean, I agree. It would be ideal if all juries recognize the no victim, no crime fact and no jury nullification and all these other things. Court personnel have incentives not to expose them to that information, and grand juries usually rubber stamp stuff because they're only presented with one side of things. But I mean, I don't know. I definitely.
But what I'm talking about is presentments from individuals that have been beaten up or their families been killed, by rotten police. I mean,
well, I mean, we could work at it to get it in that sphere, or we could just and hope that they would incorporate these things, or we could just
no, we don't hope that they incorporate. We tell the people, and the people of the jury have the power to incorporate.
Or we could just say these guys have no right to have a monopoly on providing justice, and you own yourself, and let's bring it. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It would be preferable than what exists today, but even more preferable would be to, I would love to see people not even show up when they're told, if someone gets pulled over by a police employee or is our buddy 449 says a road pirate, then,
No.
you know, like, I would love I love when I see just random folks film it. I love when people say, you know, where's the victim? I love, because then, you know, that's a start, and it shows, hey, we're not granting you authority. You don't have the right to just harass people, you know, and same in the legal land, you know. I mean, it's so frustrating being involved in that system, you know. It just wears people down. The resources are taken from other folks and levied at these certain people, you know. I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I hope we can move past it at some point.
I have a question for you, actually. Where are you from?
I live right here in Merrimack, New
You've been to
Hampshire.
Jersey City, New Jersey?
No,
You know
I try to
anyone-
stay away
I'm
from New
Jersey
Jersey.
City, New Jersey. Do you know anyone else from Jersey City, New Jersey?
No,
They're all assholes and they're all stupid. You want my freedom and my rights to be based
Hey,
on...
wait, isn't Tatiana from New Jersey?
Not Jersey City.
Oh.
You want my rights and my freedom to be based on what 9... How many people are on jury? I don't even know. Jersey.
grand jury is 23, I think.
Okay, so 23 people who, I'm telling you right now, they're all, it's a pool of idiots. That's what my freedom is based on, really?
Well, you know, Jersey is not where the Free State Project is. And there's a reason.
My freedom is not dependent on... and
No.
offense.
But a grand jury is used against the state versus.
But even putting faith in an external majority of people, a majority of my fellow...
No. I'm not putting faith in anyone. I'm just saying that if these people were informed that their own attitudes and sense of righteousness would have them indict some of these, you know, even the mayor. I mean, if the mayor or this Judge Burke could have been indicted for what he did to a demo.
I mean, they tried